Unit 9 Review, Question 14. Australia is approximately 2,596 miles in width. And we are asked, how many kilometers wide is Australia? So we are converting from miles to kilometers. And notice this is a US to a metric conversion. Now we have some conversion relationships down here, conversion equations. Okay, we want one that relates miles to kilometers, and there's actually two of them. 1 mile equals 1.61 kilometers. 1 kilometer equals 0.621 miles. Okay, and we can use either one. Okay, but just note that both of these conversions are approximations. Chances are that if we use a different one, we'll get a very close but different answer. Okay, so since these are approximations of conversions, we want some degree of accuracy, but at some point it doesn't matter if there's an extra 10,000th of a mile added on. So we use these ones as approximations of our conversions. Okay, so I'm starting with miles, 2,596 miles. I need to multiply by a conversion factor. Okay, and again, I could choose either one. My preference, I'm going to choose so miles is 1 in the denominator. Then I can just multiply my results. So this will be 1 mile, and the numerator is 1.61 kilometers. Again, either one is fine, but I've learned in time that if we do this, there'll be a 1 in the denominator, so this is just 2596 times 1.61 over 1. Oops, I started writing kilometers. Over 1 kilometers. So we can just multiply these two numbers, and dividing by 1 will give us the same result. So 2596 times 1.61. And I would have rounded to 2 decimals, but that's what we get anyway. So 4179.76. 4179.56 kilometers. Let's look at the next one. A nutritional label says that a serving of mac and cheese is 122 grams. And we want to know how many ounces are in a serving. Okay, so grams is a metric unit, and ounces is a US unit of mass or weight. Okay, so we're going to start with our 122 grams. Set up my multiplication and my conversion factor. Okay, and notice we could use either one of these. 1 ounce equals 28.3 grams. Let's highlight them. Or 1 gram equals 0.04 ounces. Just to change it up, I'm going to use this first one. So I want grams to cancel, so that's 28.3 on the bottom, and that's grams. And on top we have 1 ounce. So we will have to divide here, but hey, the calculator's doing it. Notice the grams cancel. And now this equals 122 times 1, which will just be 122, divided by 20.8.3 ounces. So let's do this division. Oops, forgot the decimal. 122.1. divided by 28.3. We'll round this to 2 decimal places, so 4.31 ounces. Let's look at the next one. Camille was in a 5,000 meter race, and we want to know how many miles was the race. So this is a metric unit, and we're converting to a US unit. So I'm going to start with 5,000 meters. I'm going to set up my conversion factor. I think we'll need more than 1 here, so let's see. So notice I'm trying to change from meters to miles, and none of these tell me meters to miles, so I'm probably going to have to take 2 steps. So first I'm noticing that I do have a relationship between miles and kilometers. Okay. So I have 5,000 meters. Let's rewrite that as kilometers. Okay. Now in our metric chart, I'm just going to toss one up here. We had our base unit, and kilometers was 3 units away. A kilometer is 1,000 times as large as the base unit. So to change meters to kilometers, you can move the decimal 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So 5 kilometers is the same as 5,000 meters. Okay. So, and you can refer back to the chart to check that. Okay. So in here, something we could write that's similar is 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer. Okay. So if we did this first step, we'd end up with kilometers. So notice this will be 5,000 divided by 1,000 is 5. Okay. Now that we have kilometers, we can change it to miles. Well, 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers. So putting kilometers on the bottom so it'll cancel. Okay, feel free to use the other conversion. Now the kilometers cancel, and notice I'll be left with miles. So let's write a fraction. So 5,000 times 1 times 1 over 1,000 times 1.61. Okay, first compute the numerator, then the denominator, divide last. So this is just times 1, so that's 5,000. Okay, this is going to move the decimal 3 places to the right, but let's just double check that on the calculator to remind ourselves. So we have 1,610. Now we'll do this division and round. So 5,000 divided by 1,610 to 2 decimal places would be 3.11. To 2 decimal places, 3.11 miles. Let's box our final answer.